by Tennessee head coach Kim Caldwell. We'll let her begin with an opening statement, then we'll go to questions. Coach?
I think defensively it was better. Offensively it was fine. We didn't shoot the ball very well, but when you cannot shoot well and still go get 63% of your offensive rebounds, that's kind of what we want to do. So I was happy with it for the most part coming out the 10 days. I think it was a step in the right direction for our program.
Take our first question from Cora.
I know you wanted that field goal percentage down from 50, but they only got 40 shots and only 2 threes and lots of, 10-second violations charges. Just were you happy with the strides they took tonight, and what do you feel like is the next step for that defense?
Yeah, I think I was happy. I think we just need to do a better job of communicating, working together, and then I think we have to be one of the worst teams in the country at like late shot clock situations. We just don't sit down and guard, and so that's just something we need to work on, is how much time is too much time, and you have to finish the possession.
What did you see out of Jillian Hollingshed tonight and her good performance?
She had a great night. She was getting steals in the back. She was getting rebounds. She was playing hard. She was posting up. She was playing with confidence. So that's exactly what we needed to see out of her.
Talasia Cooper can pretty much score at will, it appears. She had 15 really efficient points in, I think, 11 minutes in the first half. And then second half, it looked like she sort of switched gears and really wanted to get teammates involved. She called it not being selfish, and I told her those weren't selfish shots in the first half. They were good shots. But do you sort of like to see her sort of change her focus and maybe look to get teammates more involved? Or
Yeah, she could have just kept going, in my opinion. But she does. She is a selfless player, and will try to get people open. And so we still need to work on finding that balance. We still took some bad shots, not her, but we took some rush threes towards the end of the game, and just making sure we finish things the right way.
Coach Jewell's out tonight. What do you expect the timetable for her return to be, and what's the severity of that injury?
Yeah, we're going to take a 2-day break, and then we'll reassess whenever we get back.
This felt like the most, consistent night of the press through the whole game. I don't know, was there anything that you saw over the break that, kind of took that step, or something clicked for them that, you feel like they're taking steps with the full court press, or just, where they proved the most?
Yeah, I think we just had 10 really hard days, and we just did it over and over and over again.
I know so much of the offense is just taking what the defense is showing and then obviously where they're finding space, but how would you assess maybe their shot selection when it came to three-pointers?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit better at times. I definitely think we took some bad ones, and there will be some bad ones on film, especially in that fourth quarter where we were just in transition, shooting them like we were shooting layups. And so they're just trying to bust the game wide open, getting the crowd involved, and just making sure that they understand what a good shot and a bad shot is. So we will still watch that. But I think for the most part, the flow of the game, they were more inside-out threes as opposed to we're just going to shoot this three because we don't want to get in the paint.
Coach, you can look ahead now. As was noted yesterday, the schedule takes a elevation now with Florida State, then Iowa next. What sort of the mindset going into that? I mean, you're 5-0 in November. It's been a long time. I know Eric may know how long since Tennessee started 5-0. It's been a while. I mean, how happy are you of what you've seen in November, and then what does the focus shift to now in December with the next two opponents?
Yeah, we just have to continue to get better. November was kind of about us, of making sure that we got our flow, got our groove, because everything we do is a little bit different. And again, I've said it before, they're relearning or unlearning things, right? We're not running back on defense. We're crashing on offense, and people are getting asked to do things that they haven't ever done in their career. So November was about us, and so we really need to take a few more steps forward coming out of this break, going into the tougher part of our non-conference.
I felt like the offense there's so much more movement, whether it was off the ball or ball movement itself. Do you feel like they're kind of grasping the effort level that you need from them when they're on the court? Like, just what's been helping that aspect of the offense?
Yeah, I think so. I think that they're understanding that. We've talked a lot about if you can't get there in 3 bounces, you can't get there, and sharing the ball, and you can't beat a team 1-on-5. And so we had a lot of those conversations over the break. And I think that even they maybe overcorrected it in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game because we weren't trying to attack. So that was good for us.
Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, but I noticed that Talasia and Ruby, you were rotating them quite a bit. What's the idea of them not exactly playing together in that second half, rotating them?
That's just kind of how we sub. It's a way longer answer. But for the most part, we try to go 2 even groups, and they're both kind of scorers, so they balance each other out. And then we'll do when we need to, when we didn't really need to tonight, but best 5 on the floor at certain times.
There was a trap in the press with Jill and Alyssa once, and it was great. But is that something you want to see more often? Is that something that can happen more often, or is what kind of plays into getting 2 bigger players at the top of the press?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but we've had a lot of opportunity to do it. They just haven't closed the trap. And so today they finally got up and closed it, and it looked really good. But before, it would kind of just be 2 people in front of the ball, and it doesn't matter how tall you are. But if you're not closing your traps, it doesn't really matter. And we did a good job in the first half, really the whole game, of closing our traps and being aggressive.
Coach, you've kind of talked game after game about sort of how the offense isn't fully there yet. What, for you, would be a sign that the offense is fully there where you expect it to be?
I mean, tonight would have looked really good if we could have shot 38% from 3, 30% from 3. If we could have hit some of those shots, it would have felt a lot better. But the offensive rebounding is really what saved us.
It seemed like it might have been because it was late in the game, but Kanaya started to take a couple more shots. She saw some opportunities, had the turnover. How much stride is she making? How much closer is she getting to really getting it?
Yeah, I think every game is important for her. She still has a couple freshman mistakes. And again, she's the only freshman on the team, so you have to have a little empathy for that. But I think she's not anywhere close to her ceiling. She's just going to get better and better.
Finish up, Maria.
Coach, Avery Strickland looked like she had some pretty good minutes tonight. Last year, she had a couple concussions. She just sort of got behind. And in your system, of course, she's got to learn it. Where's her learning curve right now, and how pleased were you with what you saw out of her tonight?
I thought she played great tonight, and she did hit a couple threes, but for the most part, what I was proud of was her effort. She was going to get deflections and steals and doing fine on defense, was not hurting us on defense, but going to get those offensive rebounds, which is a real spark for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.